Morning, ma'am. I am the first reporter of Group 4, and my topic is all about sheet metal identification, characteristics, and properties. Aluminum, a silver-colored, low-density metal with a huge variety of commercial application. An alloyed aluminum is ductile, exhibits moderate strength, and very resistant to corrosion under most circumstances. Next is brass. Brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. Brass has low friction properties and acoustic properties. Also, aluminum and brass is a non-ferrous material. Next is the cold rolled steel. Rolling steel at an ambient temperature or below its recrystallization temperature increases its strength, hardness, and decreases its ductility. In addition to improvement of mechanical properties, cold rolling results in more control over the shape and dimensions of the finished product. Cold rolled steel has an improved surface finish which makes it common in the creation of furniture, appliances, and other consumer goods. Cold rolled steel is a ferrous material, and next is the copper, a non-ferrous material, excellent corrosion resistant and high thermal conductivity. Applications include architectural uses, coinage, condenser or heat exchangers, plumbing radiators, cores, musical instrument locks, fasteners. Also, it is a non-ferrous material. Small amounts of alloying elements are often added to a copper to improve certain characteristics. Another ferrous material is the expanded sheet metal. Sheets are made by cutting slits into regular metal sheets and stretching them out to create numerous openings in a diamond pattern. Expanded sheets are lighter, stronger, and less expensive than regular flat sheets. They also allow for the free passing of liquids, light, and sound. Next is the galvanized steel. A ferrous material has a hot dip. Galvanized is the processing of coating iron or steel with a thin zinc layer by passing the steel through a molten bath of zinc at a temperature of around 460 degrees Celsius and 860 Fahrenheit. When exposed to the atmosphere, pure zinc reacts with oxygen to form zinc oxide, which further reacts with carbon dioxide to form zinc carbonate, a dull gray, fairly strong material that stops further corrosion in many circumstances, protecting the steel below from the elements. Galvanized steel is a widely used an application where rust resistance is needed and can be identified by the crystallization patterning on the surface, often called a spangle. And technically galvanized steel is a welded, but extreme caution is needed as the resulting zinc fumes are lethal and inhaled if inhaled. Next is the hot rolled steel. Another ferrous material as a hot rolling involves the production of sheet metal from billets by passing the steel through rollers while above its crystallization temperature over 926 degrees Celsius or 1700 degrees Fahrenheit. Multiple passes through the rollers may be necessary to produce the final desired dimensions. It is identified by the black oxide coating that is formed during the rolling process. And next is the stainless steel, another ferrous material, an alloyed steel designed to greatly increase corrosion resistance compared to carbon or alloy steel. Common alloying ingredients include chromium, or usually at least 11%, nickel, and molybdenum. Next is the terminology. First is alloy, a mixture of metal or elements that creates new metals with different characteristics. And second is the aluminum, a metallic element that is silvery or blue in color, lightweight, and easy to fabricate. Base material elements. First is the brass, a yellow alloy that is made with copper and zinc. Next is the bronze, a yellow or brown alloy that is made with copper and tin. Next is the carbon, a natural occurring non-metal element used in metals. Next is cold rolled, steel that is processed below its crystallization temperature, usually higher carbon, harder, and more accurately sized than hot rolled steel. Next is the copper, a naturally occurring red or brown metal that is ductile and conduct heat well. Next is the ductile, a material that is well deformed under tension or pulling force. Next is the element, a substance that cannot be broken down any further, composed of atom that contains the same atomic number. Next is the ferrous, a metal that contains iron as its base material. Next is the fusible, capable of being fused especially by heat. Next is the gold, a precious metal that is yellow in color, resistant to chemicals, and very malleable. Next is the hardness, a metal's ability to resist deformation or identification. And hot rolled, steel that is processed above its crystallization temperature, usually lower carbon, softer, and more economical than cold rolled steel. Next is the heavy type of metal, used in a production of steel. And next is the lead, a soft, malleable gray element. And next is the metal, a material that is usually hard, shiny, malleable, fusible, and ductile with a good heat and electrical conductivity. Next is the malleable, a material that will deform under compression. And next is the magnetic, whether or not metal is attracted to a magnet. And next is the metallurgy, a branch of science and technology concerned with the properties of metals, their production and purification. Next is the molecule, a group of two or more atoms that link together. And that's all my report, ma'am.